welcome to my channel. I'm Courtney, and if you don't know me already, subscribe down below if you enjoy makeup tutorials, beauty hacks and all that sort of content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be taking you step by step through how I foundation match myself and my clients and the easy tips and tricks to make the process easier for yourself. A couple of things we're going to cover in this video is how to identify your undertone by looking at your veins, and how to best identify your foundation tone by creating swatches on your face and going through the process step by step. So without further ado, let's get into the video. To start, you'll need to identify your undertone to correctly colour match your foundation. It is important that you match your foundation to your undertone and not your surface tone, or you'll end up with a mismatched foundation shade. Surface tones are the redness and blemishes and those purpley red tones that show up in your face. For example, my spots here, redness around the nose, the purpley tone around my eyes, those are all surface tones and you don't want to match your foundation to those. If you match your foundation to your surface tone and any discoloration, then you will not have a perfect match to the rest of your body. To identify your undertone, there is a really simple and easy trick. So what you need to do is look at your wrist and identify the colour that your veins show up. If your veins show up as a bluey or purple tone like mine, that means you have a cool undertone to your skin, which means that you're going to need a pinkier toned foundation. If you have green or olive toned veins, that means you have a warm tone to your skin, and this will result in you needing a more yellow tone foundation. Now, if your veins don't show up as purpley or greeny and you struggle to identify the colour of your veins, this means that you have a neutral undertone and you need to go for a neutral toned foundation. So let's take a look one more time at my veins. I don't know if they'll show up on camera because of the lights, but I do have a bluey purple undertone, as you can see right here. I don't know if that's picking up on camera. Having this purple blue tone to my veins means that I will need to look for a more cool tone foundation. So obviously I'm quite fair skin toned, so I'm going to be testing a couple of swatches of ferrotone foundations in a variety of undertones just to show you how to identify what colour matches your skin best. Today I'm going to be using the Revolution Pro foundation drops to identify what undertone and what foundation matches my skin best, and taking you step by step through the process so you can easily identify your own skin tone. Just to let you know, these are a medium to full coverage foundation and that these are a staple in my kit. I highly recommend you go and buy them, and these are currently on sale on Revolution's website, so go and grab them while they're still in stock. So I've already moisturised my skin using the Simple Protecting Light Moisturiser. This is my favourite moisturiser for putting on before foundation. I have also used the Coco Glow Illuminating Drops as a primer. This gives a really nice base to the foundation and makes it sink in really nice to your skin. It doesn't make it look cakey or anything like that, so this is amazing if you have dry skin. I would say that I have pretty normal skin, but I still like the effect putting a primer oil on your skin does for me, so I would highly recommend these if you are looking for a primer oil. So the foundations that I'm going to be using are F1, F2 and F3 from the Revolution Pro foundation drops range, and what I'm going to be doing is getting a droplet of each of these foundations and just striping them on my face and down my neck just to see which colour matches both with my face and my neck. Then we're going to blend them out and see which one looks the best, and then whichever one looks the best, we'll do a half cheek swatch and then a full face swatch if it looks good. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the shade F1. So I'm just going to decant a little bit from the pipette and put it onto the back of my hand like so. Don't need a lot. And I'm just going to be swatching that on my cheek here and bringing it down onto my neck like so. And then we're going to do F2 next, using a different finger. Decanting that onto my hand, picking a little bit up on my finger and doing that directly next to F1. I should probably pick up a bit more of F1 because I didn't do a very big swatch. Going back in with F1, there we go. And then last but not least, we're going to go in with F3. Put a drop of that on my hand as well. So those are all three cheek swatches. So straight away I can tell that F3 is way too pinky and a lot darker than my natural skin tone down here on my neck. F1 seems to be a bit too light toned, And currently F2 looks a bit too dark, but it seems to match my undertones quite well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take this off and do a half cheek swatch of F2, because I think once that's blended out, it will match my undertones nicely and it will sink into my skin and look very natural. So I'm just going to wipe this off and I'll come back and apply a whole half cheek swatch of F2. So I'm just going to take F2 and apply a half cheek swatch and blend that out to see if it matches nicely. Just going to drop a little bit of that onto the back of my hand. Then I'm going to use a dull beauty brush, which is clean but the handle is dirty. And I'm just going to apply that onto that side of my face, and then I'll blend it out using a beauty sponge. So straight away, if you look here where my redness is, it seems to not look like a good match. But when you come more down to my jawbone area, it seems to blend seamlessly into my skin tone. So now that's on, I'm just going to use my damp beauty sponge and just pounce that out across my cheek. So as you can see, that has blended in seamlessly with my skin tone. Even though it looked darker when there was the initial swatch, it has blended perfectly into my skin tone. So I would say that F2, which is also on the back of my hand here, is a perfect match for my skin tone. Now don't be fooled by foundation matches. If you don't think that at first your foundation doesn't match just from the skin swatch, make sure you do one of these half cheek swatches, because once you blend foundations out, they can oxidize, they can settle into your skin, they can mattify, all those sort of things, which slightly alters the color of the foundation anyway. So make sure you do one of these cheek swatches, because it will really show you whether that foundation matches your undertone and your neck, and then you can find out whether that foundation actually matches or not. So in my opinion, F2 is definitely the best match for me out of these three. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply the rest of my face with this foundation and then come back and we'll see whether the full face looks a bit too pink tone, cool tone, any of those sort of things, because one swatch is fine, but you want to see if the whole face looks good with the foundation. So now that that foundation base is down and completely blended out, once again I do feel that this foundation matches me completely with my neck and my undertone. It doesn't wash me out, it doesn't make me look too pale, it isn't giving me that sort of dirty effect when you put a foundation on that's a bit too dark for you. There's no line from the foundation being blended down my neck. So I think that this foundation is about a 10 out of 10 match for me. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and conceal, bronze, finish the face, and I'll come back and we'll have a look at how the foundation settled under powders, and then after that we can do the final verdict of whether this foundation matches or not. And there you have it, that's the foundation set, contoured, highlighted and all of that sort of thing. I do think that this foundation is a 10 out of 10 match for me. I hope you found this foundation matching video helpful, and if you want to ask any other questions, do comment them down below and I will answer them for you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias, which are going to be linked down below. Have a really good day and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!